Looks a bit better now in the championship, but we'll see this weekend. I mean, we have good hopes to be competitive, but I don't know, of course, how competitive. But I do feel that even in Brazil, in the dry, we were quite decent. Finally again in race pace. So this is, of course, a complete different track, completely different temperatures, but I just hope that we can continue that momentum a little bit.
I think post Brazil was a tough one for me because it was the first moment realistically when I'm like it's tough to achieve first position now. We were on such a good run of form, little by little. There was no. It's hard to get any big points on Max because he didn't have any bad races, but it was a tough. I had a tough week.
I don't want to put a number to it, but it's largely on the constructors. The chance for the drivers standings now is obviously very, very slim. If there's certain circumstances, then yes, I will still help, but they're pretty specific circumstances now. So
we are I think 30-something points behind McLaren, so it's not that far. So we know it's definitely a possibility. However, we don't really focus on that. We obviously prefer to focus step by step and race by race. And starting from this weekend, we have a positive feeling on this track. I think we think we are going to be strong. But that doesn't mean we are going to dominate the whole weekend. That's not going to happen, and I think it's going to be extremely close with Red Bull and McLaren.
I think we are within reach of it, but at the same time we need also McLaren, to do some mistakes, because if they don't put a foot wrong from here to the end, doesn't matter if we win and come second every race. That I think probably McLaren, can still hang on to it. So. Yeah, there's also two tracks that are more McLaren than Ferrari. This one is more Ferrari than McLaren, but at the same time the temperature is not. So we'll see how it plans out. I would love to win the championship for Ferrari this year.
So hopefully we can get back on track, and that will be the main objective for the rest of the year. To really try to be strong in the coming races.
I think the closer we're getting to that date, I did definitely figure out that there was other drivers as candidates as well, and of course you start to hear rumors. So then, in the end, I still thought it's maybe 50-50 chance, and I got the call on Monday. But yeah, at least I know now. Just need to figure out what's next.
Yeah, because obviously I feel like I'm still quite young into the sports, obviously having a good experience, and I do feel like having a lot of rookie drivers coming to Formula One next year, you never know, things can be easily go right or wrong for people, so it definitely opens a little bit the market to continue to stay here waiting for another chance and another shot. And I do feel after a very frustrating season ahead, it's the right time to take 1 year just away, just making sure I understand that I'm together in the next journey, next chapter.
It definitely feels strange, this Grand Prix, just living in the night, and like Kevin says, the atmosphere builds up during the course of the weekend. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, it's not going to be great for us. We've always struggled with getting temperature in, and in hot tracks overheating, and then in tracks like this probably will be a real challenge, but I think everyone would have that. Also, there's a section of the track that's open to the public, which will be messy, and there's no one driving before us. So I wish we had the F1 Academy here this weekend. That would be cool.
Yeah, I'm not, very aware at the moment of what's happening next year for me, but I just know Gabriel is a great boy. He's very quick and he deserves a seat. So very happy for him. It's great that he gets a chance. And yeah, hopefully we can find somewhere.
Yeah, obviously the expectation on us is high, and the season's not done yet. So as much as there's indication on what they're wanting me to do and what the future holds, I don't have anything confirmed right now. So for me, it's just focusing on these races ahead. This weekend's the most important right now, and then that'll shift next weekend. So I'll have a clearer picture after the season.
So far, paddock looks even better than last year. A lot of things, I'm sure, got a modification since last year. So I'm actually looking forward to hit on track again. And let's see. So far I had a nice sleeps last 2 days. I'm quite happy with it. you'll probably start to get a little bit struggle when you actually start racing and start waking up in the daytime, like 3 p.m. But so far, also with this temperature, treating me well. Yeah.
It's great to see, since we brought the upgrades in Austin, we've been able to fight for Q3s. On the last 3 races, we've been able to fight for the points, obviously get that amazing result in Brazil in specific conditions, but I'm definitely more optimistic going into that final triple-header, that we're going to be in the fight, and it's actually a very important fight for us that we are into now, that we 6 in the constructor.
It's been a fun race, definitely. An unexpected one, that's for sure. Looking at our dry pace, that's not where we were at all. But when the rain came, it definitely opened up opportunities, and yeah, I mean, I felt good in those conditions. It reminded me a little bit of 2016, at the time where I was fighting for a point with the Manor, and yeah, we're leading the race for a while, which felt good, definitely. And yeah, I think it's been a very nice one because it spiced things up for our end of season. Now that we can be, fighting near the other teams, in the constructor championships.
It is a challenging circuit. All the street circuits at high speed, a little bit like Baku, where braking is quite important. The walls are very close, so yeah, very easy to make mistake, and something we need to avoid for sure and get into the rhythm. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting weekend. Obviously, there are a few weekends already that we don't score points, so this is the time to change that.
Long straights here, not a lot of corners, so getting the tires working is always hard. I remember even last year in qualifying and stuff, it took hard out laps, sometimes even 2 out laps to get everything working. And then, yeah, in the car, very different layout compared to Brazil. Long straights, big braking zones, shorter corners. So hopefully we can be a bit more competitive this weekend.
I think, weekend in, weekend out, you always have to see how the package, gets on, how, tarmac, car, there's, all these factors. Obviously, you're playing into it, and we need to see how the car, reacts tomorrow. But I think over the last, half of the season, we've been competitive on most occasions and managed to score points on many times too. Not with luck, but just with pace and being strong. So I think, we will try to, continue that and obviously maximize the last triple header of the season.
We feel like we're in a good place with the car, and recently we've kind of consistently been in the run for points. Now that Aston Martin are struggling, there's some actually some points available at each race. So yeah, it's exciting. I mean, we're now 3 teams for that P6, which for the teams mean a lot. It's whether you finish 8th or 6th, it's a big thing. And yeah, for a driver, of course, you don't really. It's not like something you put on your CV, but it just means so much for everyone that it's worth fighting for.
It was a lot of hard work over the last couple of weeks. I think when you look at these last 3 races coming up, Vegas would be our best chance to score some good points. So the fact that it was on the first week of this triple header made it very tough for everyone. In terms of pace, I think could be a good track for us. We were slow in the race though, and we had a lot of degradation compared to other cars. I think we understand why, so we've had a good look at last year's data, and we should be better prepared for the weekend. So yeah, I'm optimistic.